Welcome to Access Sportsnet Lakers, brought to you by your Toyota dealers. We make it easy. Chris McGee, Robert Ory, James Worthy, Wet Alley, and Mike Trudell down at Crypto.com Arena. The Lakers end the season on a 3-game win streak. They finished with an impressive 53 wins on the season. And with Denver beating the Spurs, the Lakers secure the 4th overall spot. They will open with Houston next weekend here in downtown Los Angeles. Before we get to all that, let's talk about this game. I know you guys were really happy with the way this team came out and attacked this game. Very businesslike, opened up a big lead. Everyone played, James. All 14 guys scored.
You know, Geeter, for the way the Lakers finished the season, you know, and for the effort that the guys are putting out, getting ready to go into the playoffs, I want to give just
oh, wow, we haven't had one of those in a while.
Just a little bit of, we got baby Jonathan in the house, too. I just want to give him just a little bit of worthy clap.
Oh, that's funny.
My pick for the game, Bron and James came in, patient. But to your question, Geeter, the Lakers were really looking forward to moving forward now. You can tell that they took this game seriously, even though they didn't need to win. It didn't make a difference. LeBron came in. He knows he's got to lead these guys. He wanted to get out there and get rhythm with them. You know, I think Ayton is going to be key. You know, his efficiency in the paint. Rui is another guy. They're going to have to step up. You're talking about 2 guys that are going to have to replace Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves as far as, you know, picking up the pieces a little bit. Those 2 guys are next in line. Kennard's another one. But I thought, as you look at these 2 guys tonight, both 22 points, high efficient from the field, rebounds. I love the additional rebounding from Rui. He's usually down with 3 or 4 rebounds. He gets up into that 7 to 8, 9 rebounds a game going out. That's going to be very beneficial for the Lakers. So I thought, you know, they got the rhythm they needed. Now it's time to get ready for the first round.
For me, it was very important for them to get the rhythm and to get to understanding one another. Because you think about this starting lineup, we hadn't seen this starting lineup together a lot, and this is probably the starting line we got to go with. You know, and to capitalize on what James just said about Rui. Rui is one of the most athletic guys on his team, but his rebounding doesn't show it. So he has to know he's got to step up in this situation and get a lot of rebounds. And going over to, you know, Marcus Smart. You know, he was very smart tonight, getting a lot of guys involved, especially DA, who had the 10, you know, the double-double, which we need to have each and every night from here on out. But I like the fact that Marcus Smart had 10 assists. He was getting everybody involved. But my only concern is Luke Kennard right now. I know he only played a couple of minutes. I just hope he's fine, because we definitely going to need him to be that extra scorer and that extra eyes on the floor.
Yeah, you saw that graphic right there. 44 points between the 2 of them, Rui and Ayton, 20 rebounds, which we love, and they were a combined 18 for 26. DeAndre Ayton had that pep in his step today. You could tell by the way he was running the floor, kind of demanding the ball, getting his own offensive rebounds, catching a lot of lobs. So it was nice to see Rui and Ayton, because without AR and Luka, those are your next 2 guys.
Yeah.
That have the ability to give you 20 on any given night. And that's what they're going to have to do if you're going to survive in the first round of playoffs.
And Ayton has proved off and on this season. I mean, I'm going back to the run that they were on, especially when they played Denver here at home. He had a really good game against Jokic, got a block against him. You know, we know that he has potential. He just had to have his mind ready at the beginning of the game, and I do think Marcus Smart is the one guy that recognizes that. You got to get him the ball, get him some lobs, get him involved, and he'll stay involved. But sometimes when he's setting picks and popping, not getting the touches, and it becomes kind of tough for him to stay in the game.
I think when you talk about Luka and you talk about AR, they're not traditional pick and pop guys like, you know, Marcus Smart is. Because when the Marcus Smart comes out, he's going to look to give it to the big. You know, Luka's going to look at the, you know, navigate, unless he knows a direct line of lob, but he's going to look to try to score, and AR is the same. But I think when DA knows that, okay, if I set a pick and roll for these 2 guys, I got a 95% chance I'm going to get the rock. So he's engaged, and that's what you got to be engaged. And I know, you know, when we talk about the playoffs, it's a different beast.
Yeah.
And we know DA has been to the finals. We don't talk about that.
Yeah.
He's been to the finals with the Suns. So he has a lot of experience. And I think sometimes when you have guys who had a lot of experience, you know, a lot of success early, they kind of get, you know, I'm coming from me. Sometimes the regular season like do-do-do-do-do, you know, but when the playoffs come around, because we hadn't seen DA in the playoffs in a while. So I'm really interested to see how he handled the playoffs, because when you smell playoffs, it's a different type of energy, it's a different type of emotion.
I've often, not debated, but talked to a lot of people about that, because you put so much emphasis on the regular season and you want everyone to be here the whole time. It's impossible to be here the whole time. The great teams have another gear and have another level. I mean, you guys have a lot of experience in that. When it's playoff time, KD, a lot of experience. They're stepping up. Lakers have to take another step up.
Yeah,
and that's where experience comes into play.
Look, I can remember, and this is a long time ago, but I can remember, guarding Larry Bird on a Tuesday night.
I thought you said when dinosaurs roam. I thought you were going to say
that too. I got some bones. But I can remember guarding Larry Bird on a Tuesday night. Flying getting into New York on Wednesday night, guarding Bernard King.
Yeah.
Take Thursday night off, going to Philly. Now I got to guard Dr. J. So, yeah, and during the regular season, you're not going to be as consistent as you are. When you get one team, you got 2 or 3 players to concentrate on. You got video to look at. You don't have to travel as much. You should have a better percentage efficiency in the playoffs because of that. Like I said, less travel, focusing on 2 or 3 things, and you just make changes from game to game. So I think that benefits the Lakers that they're going to be focusing on one team as opposed to having 2 guys out and having to navigate around from team to team. It might be beneficial for them to be focused on one team at a time coming up with the Rockets.
When you look at the 25-26 playoffs, no one's going to have more games played than LeBron James. In his 23rd season, he is once again going to lead this team into the postseason. And Rob, he came out tonight, only played that first half, right? He had 18 points in 17 minutes. He had the 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. Does he look ready to you?
Yeah, LeBron is like, James, you remember this, the cars you had to put in the crank in the front?
Yes, sir.
To get him going. That was like him tonight. This was his crank to get him going. He's one of those guys, now he smells the playoffs, his energy and his focus is going to be heightened. He's going to be ready to go. He's going to do everything properly to get him ready, but he's also going to pass along the knowledge. He's going to get these other guys, hey, this is what you need to do for us to get past this first round and get further into this playoff. So that's the one thing that's so amazing about this guy, that he's experienced everything when it comes to the playoffs. He's the number 1 guy in playoff games played. He's the number 1 guy in games played, period. So why don't you just listen to this guy and take, and follow him? If I'm a player in the locker room with LeBron right now, I'm like, yo, man, what do you do to prepare for this upcoming journey? Because I'm going to kind of try to copy that so my body can be ready. So that's one of the things you can always lean on when you got guys like this that's in your locker room.
He's been in just about every scenario there is. Down, 3-0 against Golden State, come back.
3-1.
3-1, big-time comeback. So what he's trying to show these guys is, look, I know we're without Luka and Austin, and if anybody can get down, LeBron can get down while he's driving his car on the way home. But he's not going to let these guys know that we have a deficit. Look, I'm here. You guys are here in the NBA. Let's see what we can do. We got home court advantage. We worked too hard for that. Let's go. Guys have to pick up the pieces, and I think they have enough veteranism, as Rob would say. You got Kennard, you got Rui, you got Ayton, who's been in the playoffs, and then you got guys coming off the bench like Jake LaRavia, who's a hard-playing, tough-nosed kid.